It's Brad Sinatra, man, tapping all the way in, man. We in the streets of Houston right now. And I'm chatting with Staxx, man. Y'all know what it is, man. Best game on the net.
Welcome to this episode of Chatting with Staxx. I'm your host, Bill Staxx, and today I got Brad Sinatra. What's up, man?
Ain't too much, Bill. What's going on, man?
I'm just chilling. How you doing?
Oh, man, slow and easy, man. Trying to get it together. You know how it goes.
Thank you for taking the time. I appreciate it.
Without a doubt.
So where are you from, man?
I'm from Houston, Fifth Ward to be exact, but born and raised in Houston. All over the city, though. You know what I'm saying? That can't miss me nowhere in the city. But I'm born and raised out of Fifth Ward in Houston.
So what was your life like in the beginning?
Well, you know, my mama was doing what she was doing, right? So there wasn't a lot of supervision in the household. So as a younger man, we moved around a lot. And so like I never stayed in one certain house in a long period of time. And as I reached about the age of about 11 years old, you know what I'm saying? When I was old enough to, you know, make it outside and start counting money and doing what you do. That's around about the time I started selling dope. You know what I'm saying? Because there was no child supervision. Nobody's in the house. About 11 years old, I'm in the street selling. You know what I'm saying? Because you step outside the front door in Fifth Ward, and that's what you see. You know what I'm saying? So it was very easy to get you some money and be a part of the hustle because everybody's part of it. And it's regular, it's normal. So it's understood what it is. And that's pretty much what my early life was like. Finding different ways to hustle, whatever that comes of in the inner city.
So you grew up around mainly African Americans, right?
Yeah, without a doubt.
What's it like for a white dude growing up around African Americans?
Well, I'll tell you this, man. It would probably be a lot different for a white dude moving to the hood and trying to get indoctrinated at some point, right? But when you come from the cracks in the ground, when you come out the root with this shit, you know what I'm saying? We ate at the same table. We done slept in the same bed as children. We running in and out the same houses. So the separation that you would normally see didn't really exist here because I live under the same circumstances and conditions as everybody else. You see what I'm saying? So yeah. It's like there's not a whole lot of separation when it's like Tarzan. They found him in the jungle. He was raised by gorillas. And as he got later in life, you couldn't tell him he wasn't a gorilla. And you couldn't tell the gorillas he wasn't a gorilla.
Yeah.
So that's what it's like in Fifth Ward.
So you're just part of the scene out there, right?
Yeah. I mean, you know, we all live in the same life. You know what I'm saying? We wake up, live the same shit, man. So, you know, like I said, I've been there a long time, homie. So I'm a regular.
So what,
you know what I mean?
What type of stuff did you see early on?
I mean, you know, shit, same thing you're going to see in the ghetto anywhere. Prostitution, con playing, crook gambling, robbing, drug selling. You know what I'm saying? These are the economic opportunities in the ghetto. Like, you know what I'm saying? When everybody can't, you know what I'm saying? Your mama smoke, your dad in the penitentiary, your brother sell dope, your sister sell. Everybody, excuse me, sorry, my language. But, you know, I mean, it's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? This is what you see when you know, look, it's been my experience right there. People in the suburbs and people that have money, they let their children be kids for as long as they possibly can and let them enjoy childhood. But where we from, we get exposed to this shit from the cradle because to not be exposed to it is to make you susceptible to it. So ain't no game held from us from the beginning. So you taught this shit out the womb so that when you step out the front door, you ain't no victim. You understand what I'm saying?
Did you get into any altercations as a young man?
I mean, of course. You know what I'm saying? Because where I'm from, homie, Fifth Ward is a warrior tribe, bro. You got farmer tribes, you got hunter-gatherers. Fifth Ward is like Sparta. You know what I'm saying? So you got to show that work, homie. Everybody got to show their own work. Ain't no free passes. That's just what it is. It's warrior tribes, homie. So we grew up hard. You know what I'm talking about? This is what we do. We stand on the corner. We didn't get toys. When we got tired of doing shit, we just start punching on the corner. That's how we grew up. That's what Fifth Ward is all about. But, you know, it's all love, though, inside the hood, though. We all love each other because if somebody come from outside and come try this shit, it's going to be different.
Walk me through, like, what's a typical day as, like, a young man in the Fifth Ward?
Man, from the time I wake up, we was younger, you know, we was still selling dope out beepers back then. That's how far back this shit go. You know, I'm in the 90s with this shit. So from the time we wake up, man, you checking your beeper to see if you got any missed calls. And I'm immediately, you know what I'm saying, trying to go resco, see if I got enough dope to make it through the day. Because we selling, I mean, is what's booming in Fifth Ward back then. This is before the pharmaceutical era and all that. So from the time we wake up and step out that front door, I'm going to get clean in a bitch because my block was like a fashion show. So when you step outside, you got to have that, you know, you got to be presentable, homie, because everybody out here selling dope and having money. And this is the way that you show it. Because if you come out here you know, you'll get shamed off the corner looking around because, you know, as a younger man, we didn't know how to hide our money. We wanted to show it. So that's the lifestyle you live. So we wake up, we selling all throughout the day. Throughout the day, me and my partner probably riding in the car. We're going to get a dope fiend rental car. Somebody going to come through and come buy some dope. We're going to ask them to rent the car. And we're going to ride around all day working off our people, smoking weed, drinking syrup, eating out of the fast food spots. You know what I'm saying? And just living our life in the city. But nothing, everything revolves around selling dope. That's all it was.
So did you get in trouble doing all this?
Man, listen, homie, I caught a capital murder case at 20 years old. Before that, I'd had 19 arrests by the age of 20, homie. You know what I'm saying? I had 2 dope cases as a juvenile. When I was 15, I was hustling at this motel, I-10, at a Ramada Inn. And we had been trapping out the motels because the motels are like, you know, prostitution, run dope and shit. You know what I'm saying? So we trapping out the motel. Well, I had served this dude that I kind of got a weird feeling about him the night before, right? I just had a funny vibe from him, but I don't know. I served him anyway and fell asleep that night. Woke up the next morning, the laws was knocking on my door, but I didn't know who it was. I was full of syrup. I'm like 15. So I open the door. What's up, man? And it's the laws. So I can't tell them they can't come in because the room ain't in my name. I'm a juvenile. So they come in the room. You know what I'm saying? They look inside the drawer right there. I had some money wrapped around the clip of my beep and a bunch of jewelry and some dope and shit. And they was like, so they played. I'm like, well, whose money is this? I said, that's my money. Well, what about this dope? I don't know who that is. So they took me to juvenile. I went to West Dallas downtown, caught a dope case. They called your mama to come get you out, just like you out on bond. And 1 week later, in another motel right up the street, me and my partner beat up a dope fiend in the parking lot because they owed my partner some money, tried to run across I-10, and his dope fiend called the laws and told them what room we was in. They ran up in there. We had a case with a shoebox full of weed, and me and my partner had a bunch of rocks, and he had a big-ass 357, but my partner was on parole. I'm only 15, so I took that case, too, to keep him from going back to prison. And this when I was 15, so, you know, ended up getting juvenile probation for both of that. You know what I'm saying? Got a year juvenile probation, but by the time I was 16 when I got the probation, and then by the time I was 17, I had caught a murder case and ended up going to the county jail, which just all that juvenile shit went right out the door. And I got no bill by the grand jury on that case right there. Then, you know, after that, you know, 2-3 more dope cases, back to back, hustling out of motel rooms, just hot ass spots. You know, that's how the ghetto is.
The murder case, did you get convicted?
No, I got no bill by the grand jury. It was some bullshit. I just got jammed up. My name got caught up in some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Somebody thought they knew something about something. I don't know, a bunch of bullshit, whatever it was. They jammed me up and it wasn't nothing. You know what I'm saying? I ended up getting no bill by the grand jury, but they kept me in the county for 45 days on a criminal trespassing, trying to hold me in there long enough just to see if they get an indictment.
During your time doing this, did you ever have anybody try to rob you?
Oh, yeah, man. I've been robbed. I mean, that shit happens in the ghetto. I had a best friend that I was hustling with, that one of his partners had came out of prison, and I didn't know him, but on the strength that he was my partner's friend, I had started like kind of hustling with him a little bit, you know what I'm saying, looking out for him. So us three, we're all hustling out the motel room. Anyway, me and this dude have a discrepancy about something, and he burned off. And make a long story short, he get one of his partners to come back, and the scar is on my lip right here. I got a scar on my lip right here. Dude coming there first, he knocked on the door, and I looked out the door, and I just seen a dude in a blue hoodie. But like I said, I've been trapping out the room, so I got a Glock 38 on the table over here. I'm like 16 at this time, so I open the door, and the dude like, trying to mumble something, like trying to rush up in the door. So when he rushed in, we're standing there squabbling. You know, like first we just throwing punches by the door. You know what I'm saying? Then he had a blue hoodie. I remember he reached inside the hoodie, pulled out there. I seen the chrome 38. When he pulled it, I said, "Oh!" He hit me. Pow! Hit me in my mouth. I fell to the ground. So when I'm on the ground, he like, "Give me the money, give me the money." So I'm on the ground, got my like feet up. I'm like, "Man, hold on, bro. So I ain't got no money. I ain't got no money. Like, give me the chain." So I broke my chain and I threw it out the door because if he runs for that chain, I'm gonna go for this Glock and we finna shoot it out in this bitch. So when I break the chain, throw it out the door, but he don't bite for it. So I'm still like this. He rambled through my pockets. I had about like $1,200 some punk shit in my pocket. And he hit me again. Boom, I got blood out coming out the back of my neck. And this motherfucker, I had the brand new Jordans that just came out that day. The Jordans and some Air Max, they were sitting on. Man, this fool took my money, took the 2 blunts I had on the thing, took my Jordans. That's what ran me the most high when he left out that bit. But he took off running out the room. And, you know, it was gone. But that's a long story short. But, you know, that's just what, you know, it happens, man. You know what I'm saying?
Did you ever rob people?
Oh, come on, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, you know, that's like, this is all old. Everything we're talking about is all.
Yeah, without a doubt. We talking about 30 years ago. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I ain't never with no kids and I ain't killed nobody that they don't know about. So, you know what I'm saying? Other than that, you know what I'm saying? I ain't no statute of limitations. So I understand on this shit. I'm just saying like 30 years. Yeah, bro, robbing was understood. That was like second nature. You know what I'm saying? I mean, my very first robbery, I was like 9 years old. They used to have these things called garbage pail kids back in the game. They were like baseball cards. Remember them garbage pail kids? Yeah. So my partner had like a BB gun, but one of them heavy, like a real gun. And the little dude stayed next door. His mama had bought him a whole box of them hoes. You know what I'm saying? And we was like, man, we're gonna get little Brandon because we thought he was he wasn't from the projects. He wasn't from over there with us. We didn't know him. We didn't like him. So I took that little pistol out there and hit him in his head with it. Boom, and took the garbage pail kids. He ran and told his mama. And I just remember like that was the first time like looking back as a child, like, damn, bro, that really was an armed robbery. It was an aggravated robbery at like 8, 9 years old. But we were just like, man, f him. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, robbery was understood, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, I hustle all over the city of Houston. So 3rd Ward, 4th Ward, South Park, the East Side, Federal Road. So I know people everywhere. So all of us used to share the licks. Like I may got somebody I can't rob, but I'll call you from the other side of town that don't know him. You'll come over here and I'll let you hit the lick and then you'll call me later and we'll bust the money down type. You know, that's how we used to do people back then. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So robbery was like understood. If you wasn't strong enough to have it, we weren't gonna let you keep it. That's just how the streets are.
Now, when you go to prison, when you go to jail, do they treat you the same as they do on the street?
Well, it's inevitable that when you go in that bitch, everybody don't know you. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's not gonna automatically know you. Prison is gonna be different. Harris County Jail is worse than damn near any unit I've been on. Harris County Jail, one of the worst counties in the United States. And you got to show that work in there. Because I used to be in a tank. I've been all over the Harris County Jail, but it used to be a 1301 was the old county, 1301 Franklin. And they used to 10D4 gladiator floor, you know what I'm saying? And they used to, all the youngsters, all the young gang, they send all the youngsters up there. And it's like the tank that we were in was called the Foot Locker tank. You come off the elevator, the laws used to ask you like, hey man, you know how to fight? So why was up? So shit, you gonna have to for them shoes. You know what I'm saying? So it's understood, but I'm not no pushover, homie. I ain't, you know what I'm saying? We've been squatting all our life, so I'm not never tripping about showing that work. So once you show that work a little bit, they be like, oh, nah, he's okay. And then they see like, oh, nah, this boy here for real. And then they know that you really know the streets. That's a major difference too, homie. That's the difference when you going in jail and you want to be cool and you don't listen to some rap music and you got some black friends. But it's different, homie, when you know them streets. Knowing the streets is something different, homie. I know the names, I know the places, I know the corners, I know the blocks. They know me too. So that's different, homie. Because I can go to any neighborhood and get a gangster on the phone. That's no cap.
It's a lot different than, like you said, just some kid that goes to prison that's not involved with everything.
I see it all the time. Listen, bro, I'm not easily impressed, homie. So I'm a blood, homie. So in that prison, bro, I've seen a whole bunch of white bloods that come in that bitch, you know what I'm saying? And bro, that doesn't make me necessarily gravitate to them or make me think, you know what I'm saying, because you're a white blood, bro. I'm not easily impressed, homie. I didn't get it easy, homie. And I'm not gonna be easy on nobody. You gotta impress me, homie, you know what I'm saying? Because like I say, this shit builds character, homie. You gotta go through this shit. Ain't nobody finna give you no motherfucking pass. So I don't necessarily just, you know what I'm saying? I've seen it basically what I'm saying, bro. I know exactly what you're saying. I see the type. And you can feel when it's different.
What do you think of 1090 Jake?
Well, I mean, I think he's an excellent investigative reporter. You know what I'm saying? I think he covers his topics fairly well from what I've seen. Now, I don't know about the rest. You know what I'm saying? You're a bunch of people talking about how them dudes be indirectly working with the laws and like, you know, doing enough investigation, trying to get people locked up. Well, I mean, all I can say to that is, homie, is well, if you tell a man something to get you indicted or something like that, or you get on the bad side of this shit, homie, all I can tell you is live like they on the way and stay safe. But I think he's a pretty good, I think he's good at what he does. I think he has a hell of a fan base. I respect his craft.
He said that he was representing the Bloods in the prison. Do you think that's true?
Who was? 1090 Jake?
Yeah.
I never heard that.
My affiliation and experience in prison and how being a white blood in prison isn't ideal. So if Jake is a real blood and he said the Island Boys aren't real bloods and Jake didn't say Melly wasn't a real blood, then Melly must be a real blood.
He said it. He
I ain't gonna say I don't think it's. I mean, I'm not gonna deny it. I'm not gonna say I don't think it's true. You know what I'm saying? I give any man the benefit of the doubt. I know if I was to talk to him or something, you know what I'm saying? But I wouldn't really give a like, that's not me to try to figure out whether or not you lying, bro. I don't care. I'm living my life. If you is, that's your business. I'm doing this for real. You know what I'm saying? We living our life. If 1090 Jake is, then hey, man, all right, homie, salute. I don't give a I don't know him like that. He ain't from my state. He ain't from my city. He can't run those circles I run. He don't know the people I know. So there's no way for me to do a proper roll call on him, and I'm not concerned enough to do it.
He said he dropped his flag.
I don't necessarily. I would never, that's a term that we don't, you know what I'm saying? Because that means to say that for everything that you say you stood for all that time, you've reached a point in your life now where you don't believe any of it anymore. And I don't believe that necessarily. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe in organized crime and gangs. I believe in a brotherhood and a partnership, a bunch of friends. You know what I'm saying? So I would never lay down a flag, but you can retire emeritus. That's what I've done. I've retired emeritus like a professor does, where he's retired, but he still retains the title strictly out of respect. He's still a professor. That's the way that I have retired from that line of work, but still retain the title strictly out of respect, man. So I'm emeritus, man. I've retired.
Yeah, I don't think he did that.
Yeah, well, you know, that's his business, man. He'll have to walk his own. He got to, you know what I'm saying, carry his own cross.
Yeah. So
he know how he feel about anybody he left behind. So
when do you get down with the Bloods?
I got on in 96. 96 is when I first got on with the Blood. You know what I'm saying? Because my neighborhood is not necessarily just gang related. I mean, you got a lot of shit in Fifth Ward, but right next door to Fifth Ward is Trinity Garden. In Trinity Garden, you got Curry Road, which is understood. It's all Bloods over here. It's 5'9" bounty hunter shit going on over here. You know what I'm saying? This was Flamingo Square, all this shit in Curry Road. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Bobo Black, shout out Sinbad, shout out all the day ones, man. You know what I'm saying? Lil Darvin, all them, all my homies, my big homies all dead, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Stank and Heavy and all them. But you know, that's when I first got on.
How old were you?
16, 17. You know what I'm saying? But I had been in the streets. I've been knowing these dudes. You know what I'm saying? Like these, shout out Daniel Coleman, shout out, you know what I'm saying? Like these my partners. I've been knowing these dudes because a lot of Fifth Ward and Trinity Garden is so close. We run the streets together. You know what I'm saying? But then when you come to see how like, I like what's going on with this right here, then you make a decision like, man, I want to be a part of what's going on right here. You know what I'm saying? So that's when those decisions get made. You don't make those decisions lightly though. I don't, and the people I know don't.
Do you have to have an initiation when you join?
Yeah, without a doubt. Ain't about it. Everything has to have some level of exclusivity or anybody would do it. You know what I'm saying? So everybody's got to go through certain rites of passage and different things you got to go through. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have to do some punching and all that. All the old get jumped in shit. Yeah, all that's true. You're going to punch it out. They're going to run a 5-man team on you. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, you got to show that work, baby.
Yeah, and if you don't fight back, they're like, nah, you better get down the road, right?
Well, that's the thing, homie. We're not seeing if you can be a punching bag. We're seeing whether or not you're scared in a position, or you know what I'm saying, or whether or not you're going to stay down. We don't know if you're a pain freak. We don't give a damn if you just stand there and get beat on all that serves no purpose. We're trying to see where your heart is, not where the strength of your body. This is just the way we're going to determine the strength of your heart and your mind.
It makes sense.
Without a doubt. You know what I'm saying? And that's why it has to be some type of, because everything ain't for everybody. And obviously, if you don't got the heart to go through this to begin with off the muscle, well, obviously, baby, this is not the lifestyle for you, homie, because this shit comes with pain. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody sugarcoating nothing, homie. This shit comes with pain.
So what do you think about all the people that are on the internet and they think they know what that life's about?
I pray for them. You know what I'm saying? Because see, the people that's trying to run to the lifestyle don't understand that we've been trying to run from the lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? They want to run to it as a fad, like this is some cool shit to be doing. But man, this was by force, not choice. You know what I'm saying? This just is life. This is what you learn. This is what you know. This is what you do. And they've made it cool because the rappers in the lifestyle make all this shit cool. You know what I'm saying? So, of course, they want to live this shit. But say, homie, if I was to tell them anything, I would tell them the same thing I just said a minute ago. This shit comes with pain, bro. This shit don't come with all this fly-friendly shit, dancing in the club and just hitting up gang signs with everybody and everybody. No, this shit come with death, blood, tears, funerals, caskets, jail time. You're going to have to do all that, homie. You know what I'm saying? And it don't stop there. Just because that happens, you get down there and you still got to be with this shit. You know what I'm saying? Because when I came to prison, I got locked up in February 11th of 2000. I came home the day before Thanksgiving, 2024. I just did 24 years and 8 months in the state of Texas. Flat. Never left. From the time I got locked up, bro, when I first got in prison, see, they got this shit in Texas prison called the Safe Prison Act. You know what I'm saying? And all they got safe prison and all this PREA and all this old shit, right? They didn't have that shit when I first got locked up. When you first came to prison, when I was down there, homie, you just had to go for what you know. They ain't give a fuck. You go in that bitch, talking about your life's in danger, they'll tell you shit. I don't know what to tell you. Better get a man, get your ass back down the hallway. Yeah. So they ain't give a damn about this shit. I'm telling you, there's no cap, bro. I swear to God, I've seen on that Ferguson, we in that hallway on Ferguson, the people used to come down that hallway and I watch them trying to catch out and go tell the major, I can't go back down on the block. I don't see your head, bust, come back with some bandages. I will get you in. That's how them people work. They don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. Go pay your tab, whatever you owe, go pay it. That's what they tell you. Get out the hallway. Go get a man. You know what I'm saying? So when I first got down there, bro, in the early 2000s, homie, Bloods wasn't as deep as they is now. Lil Wayne made the whole world Bloods. Everybody wanted to be after Lil Wayne them came out. You know, so we looked up and they started getting deep. But when I first got down there, homie, It'd be 6, 8, 7, 8, 10 bloods on a block and 45 Crips. So it wasn't easy being a blood, homie. This ain't been no lifestyle. So everybody, when I was down there, all that set shit wasn't going like that. I'm a bounty hunter. He's a pyro. He's treetop. He's this. He's neighborhood, whatever. But we was all on the UBN down there, man. Which means all that set shit go out the door because it ain't enough of us to be trying to pick particulars, homie. We outnumbered out the game. So we down here strictly on some UBN shit. And we ain't doing no motherfucking playing. And when you be down there going through that with them same 45 Crips and other blocks and shit, it gets to the point where you be like, nah, them staying. They here to stay, homie. They here to stay, man. Leave them alone. They with the shit. And that's how we was rocking. So it wasn't until later on in prison I started seeing all these blood. We start getting deep like that. You know, because it didn't used to be that way, homie. Snoop Dogg made the whole world want to be Crips. I ain't seen no more blood till Lil Wayne came out.
It's crazy how the rap game changes things, right?
I'm telling you, that's the influence, you know, but this what they don't understand, bro. The people you're discussing, the people that are running to the lifestyle, they're trying to emulate the rappers, and the rappers are emulating us. You know what I'm saying? They're talking about the life we lived. Nowadays, you can't be no fairy tale rapper, homie. If you talking that shit now, it will be tried and tested. So the rappers today are really with the shit now. But it's because they have emulated the lifestyle that they heard about, that the rappers were rapping about the shit we was doing.
But there's a lot that haven't lived that life, and they're just posting on the internet, acting like they are.
And you know what, man? And it won't hit them until they be down in that penitentiary and they ain't seen their kids in 3-4 years, ain't heard from their baby mamas. You're getting by somebody else steady lying to them, tell them they got money on their books, and they go down there and ain't nothing on their card, walking out with that walk of shame, leaving that commissary window broke. When they ain't heard from nobody, then they'll start saying like, man, I really was tripping, bro. But I'm lying to you. There's no way before then, because I've seen so many of them walk through that door. As soon as they get in that bitch, they be like, oh, no, I can't stay here. You know what I'm saying? Because it's coming through the door. What's up, homie? You bang? Man, stuttering? That's over with. Running. Put him in the blender. You going right in the crock pot with that dumb shit. You come in there stuttering pot. That's over with. Frying. So they'll realize real fast it ain't the lifestyle they want, homie. You know what I'm saying? Trying to run to that shit. This shit ain't cool. Either you with it or you're not, bro. You try, you know, you got a bunch of little rabbits and shit trying to run with wolves, bro. It's inevitable what's gonna happen, homie.
Tell me about the major time that you get arrested and go to the penitentiary. What did they say that you did?
I did it. I caught a capital murder case. I signed for 25 years. I caught a case, homie. We kicked in some people's door. I really had some bad information. It's supposed to be a lot more than what it was. Somebody told me it was 200,006 bricks. We kicked these people door in with hats, vests, walkie-talkies. I had a bitch in the truck. So when I come, they be 2246 request back up. She come back up in route. We in that bitch with flak jackets, all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Tied them people up, put them in the living room and shit. You can go find all my cases and everything. Ain't no cap. You can go LexisNexis and look my shit up. But they didn't have no physical evidence on me other than my fall partners testifying. So when they told, there was no physical evidence on me. So I picked my jury on a Friday. I started my trial Monday. By Wednesday, my lawyer had got it to where I played out and I signed for 25 years on a first-degree murder. And I went down there and did the whole 25. Never took a stand, never talked on nobody, and it's stamped. And the streets know it and everybody know it. Solid as can be. Feds pulled me out twice when I was down there coming to ask me about all kind of cold cases and shit. I don't know what the they talking about. I don't know a goddamn thing.
I've been in prison 25 years.
25 years, homie. What the you actually expect me to know? I don't know. I don't know any of these people that you're showing me pictures of that I'm hugged up with. What the you keep asking me about these guys for?
So your co-defendant told on you. He got you wrapped into this.
Yep.
Wow. So
just like that.
You pled out.
You know what's crazy? I'm going to tell you something. Now I'm going to take you on the gangster ride when I tell you this little part right here, right? Because this is the reality. When shit went sour that night, right off the muscle, as soon as we left that place, my first intention, I was trying to call my partner because I was going to kill that bitch driving and both of them in the back seat and set that truck on fire.